Today's video is part one of a four-part series entitled 20 Ways to Grow Your Photography Business in 2022. So let's get right to it. I recently sat down with Lancaster-based headshot photographer Richard Wayne. I linked his site below, check it out. His site is awesome and his work really is amazing. And Rich and I discussed a bunch of ways that photographers can grow their businesses in 2022. Now let's be honest, running a photography business has never been for the faint of heart. But in 2022, we have really a unique set of obstacles in front of us, whether it's coming out of a 2-year pandemic, or skyrocketing gas prices, inflation, global conflict. So there's a lot going on in our world and it affects us in our local communities and our local markets. But it is not impossible, even in 2022, to grow and to maintain a successful photography business. So this video will give you the first 5 tips in our list of 20. And without further ado, let's get to number 1. Don't neglect your website and learn the basics of SEO. Your website is either helping or hurting your business. If you neglect your website, or if your website is cluttered with tons of information and loads slowly and doesn't have a good streamlined look to it, I guarantee you are losing potential clients. So let's talk about some specific areas where you can improve your own website. So first of all, your website needs to feature your work in a streamlined way. So if you're a headshot photographer like me, when people click on your site, they should immediately be able to see and find headshots that look like something that they are interested in purchasing from you. Now, one of the most common mistakes I see is that someone will take headshots, but they also do engagement photos or maternity photos or portraiture for schools or anything like this. And a potential client clicks on their website and now they just see tons of galleries of basically everything. Now, I personally don't subscribe to the jack of all trades way of being a photographer. I think that's a weak model to go by because you're just showing people that you're not an expert at anything. Now, I know this works for certain people, so it really is up to you to figure out what's best for you. But for me, I'm not a jack of all trades. I don't want to be taking real estate photos. I want to take headshots and portraits of people and concentrate my work on that. And I want people to know that in my market, I'm the best at that. Come to me. If people are clicking on your site and they're seeing thousands of images of all these different kinds of genres, you're making it very hard for them to book you. For instance, if they are looking for a headshot, like the example I used before, and they have to wade through tons of engagement photos, or if your galleries are not clearly marked and easy to access, they're not gonna spend the time looking for an example of your work. They're just gonna click back and go to a different site. So you must make sure your website is streamlined. In addition, it must load quickly. So if you're uploading high-res photos that are way bigger than they need to be to look good on the web, you're losing clients. People are not gonna sit there waiting for photos to load. They want it to load fast, they wanna see what they need and be able to book you. Get those galleries streamlined and get rid of stuff that's superfluous. Make sure it's easy to navigate, make sure it's clear and concise. In the same vein, don't upload every single photo you've ever taken. I've seen so many photographer sites where you click on a genre and then this endless grid loads and it's like literally like thousands of photographs. I don't need to see as a potential customer of yours, and nor do I want to see, nor do I have the time to see every single family photo you've ever taken. So you're much better off to just put a handful of photos, I would say like between 10 and 20 photos of your very best work, because then they will take the time to look at a small gallery. They're more likely to stay on that. And if the work is very engaging, then they're going to be impressed by it. So you don't need to upload every single photo you've taken. Be critical of your own work. I know that we look at our own work with different eyes than other people do, but look at what you have up there and say, is this really the top of my work, or is this kind of the medium level of my work? And if it's not the very best that you do, just get rid of it. Streamline those galleries. And like I said before, the other plus of this is now things are gonna load faster. People are more likely to hang out and actually look at the photos you have on there if there's a small number of extremely awesome photos. You also want to avoid having multiple photos of the same subject. Beware posting the same people or the same subject over and over. Because if I go to your website and I see the same man or woman's face over and over in different galleries or in different poses or in different outfits, to me as a potential client, I'm thinking, well, does this person not have enough business that they could just post enough different people? So think about how the client is looking at that and make sure that you streamline it. Another thing you need to do is showcase diverse galleries of people. So I'll go back to what I do as a headshot photographer and a portrait photographer. Now, if someone goes to my site and they don't see anyone on there that kind of looks like them or that they can relate to, they're not going to book with me because they're not going to be able to connect with my work. So make sure that your online gallery shows a wide swath of the population, especially if you live in an area where there is a lot of different kinds of people. I live on Long Island in New York, just outside of New York City. We have every kind of person from everywhere on the planet here. So if my gallery is all one kind of look, then it doesn't really represent the community I live in every day. Now, the next thing you want to do is learn the basics of SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. I am no expert. I have a lot to learn when it comes to SEO, but I have learned some basic skills that make a big difference in allowing people to find you. Now, one thing you need to do is make sure that the above the fold part of your website makes it easy for clients to see your work, know what you do, and book you. The above the fold part of your website is the part that people see immediately when they click on your site. You must have a call to action above the fold. So a call to action is a clickable link that says, get pricing, or book your session now, or call me, or whatever. But it needs to be a call to action so that if someone is ready to book you, they don't have to search, look through pages, go scrolling up and down your website to find the most basic thing, which is, how do I book this person? I have above the fold on my website a bunch of headshots. So people don't need to see my bio or some fancy introduction or anything else before they see my work. Think about it. People are busy, they're scrolling, they're going on their phone or on their computer at work. If they need a headshot especially, or even if they're looking for a wedding photographer or a real estate photographer, they want to see work. They want to see, well, what does this person's photos look like? They don't want to dig around looking for it. So make sure you have the work you want to get paid for above the fold. The other thing you need to do when it comes to SEO is you need to make sure your images are sized properly so that they load fast. Remember, you don't need full-size JPEGs on your website. You want them web optimized. Now, another simple thing you can do concerning SEO is make sure you change the name of the image so that it represents keywords in your area. So for instance, any photo I have on my website, it doesn't just have JPEG number whatever or the name of the client, it is keywords. So it might say something like headshots near me or headshots on Long Island, headshots in New York, portrait for business, portraiture for business, on location headshots, whatever it is, make sure that you're optimizing every image on your site so that the keywords are embedded into the image. And finally, concerning website and SEO stuff, if you're not using Google's Business Profile Manager, you are losing out on clients and on money. So now this was formerly called Google My Business, but now it's Google Business Profile Manager. So if you haven't yet, what you want to do is claim your Google business page, put in all your information, upload a bunch of photos onto it, put a photo of your studio, storefront if you have a storefront studio, or the interior if you're working at a home studio, or both, wherever you are that makes sense for how your business is housed, and start updating and posting regularly to the Google business page. You can actually write posts and updates. Google loves when you do this. They love it, and they will reward you by helping your site to go up in search rankings. Now, in addition to the Google My Business page, the other reason you need to have this is because you must get reviews from your clients. I can't tell you how many of my clients have booked me based on my 5-star reviews. And they've said to me, hey, I just checked out your reviews. Everyone says amazing things and I knew you were the right guy, and that's how they booked me. So if you have no reviews, if you have very few reviews, one of the easiest way you can grow your business is by getting your clients to give you 5-star reviews and write a little bit about what you did in the session and how it went. Not only will it make potential clients see that you're good at what you do, but Google likes the more reviews, and the more reviews will help your rankings as well. Now, my friend Richard Wayne had a great idea that he told me about. What he does is he will have a nice printed card stock with a QR code that he presents to his clients at the end of the session, and he says to them, hey, if you scan this, you can write me a review right now, take a couple of seconds, and a lot of times he'll get the review before they even leave his studio. The only thing you gotta be careful about if you do it this way, make sure that the client is not on your Wi-Fi, because if you post reviews from your own business Wi-Fi, to Google it looks like they're fake phony reviews. So as long as they're not tapped into your Wi-Fi, they can do the review right there. Number 2, cold calling, cold emailing. Yes, it is annoying, and no one likes to do it, and no, most people don't like to receive a cold call either. But think about it this way, if it didn't work, people wouldn't do it. So if I have an hour or a couple of slow hours during the day, often what I'll do is I'll just take a form email that I've created, and I will Google the top whatever firms in my area, whether it's law firms or whether it's accounting firms or whatever it is. And I'll find like the top 50 places or 100 places, and I will start sending them emails. And I'll just take a form email about what I do and headshots and this and that and send it out. Every time I do this, I would say if I send 100 emails, I probably get like 5 or 6 at least responses, which I feel is great for an hour's worth of time just sending out emails. And I usually book at least one client this way. So if you're looking to get your name out and to grow your business and to just have people understand who you are and contacting you and seeing that you are the person in their area they should be hiring for your photography services, just do it. Just start doing it. Now, I also do this via LinkedIn, but I do it differently because people hate being solicited, obviously, but they also extra hate it on LinkedIn. So I don't solicit people by sending them out a message request and a connection request that says, do you need headshots? Blah, 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 blah. What I like to do when it comes to LinkedIn is I'll just connect with local business people and businesses in my area, and I'll say something very innocuous like, I'm a business person, I'm a headshot photographer in the same town as you, and I'm just looking to connect with other professionals. I'd love to connect with you. Something like that. So when you're doing it on LinkedIn, I would suggest that you do it a little bit more nuanced and just don't pester people and don't just throw out an email that says, you need headshots? I'm the person to take headshots for you. Nobody likes this. You gotta be a little bit more finessed about it. But if your business is slow and you're sitting around waiting for the phone to ring, start doing cold emails, start doing cold calls. Make an effort to get people into your door. That's an easy way, it's a time-tested way to do it. So that's my number 2 suggestion for you. Number 3, answer your phone, your texts, your emails right away. Every time. I'm constantly shocked by how many clients of mine tell me, oh, I was just so grateful that you called me right back or that you answered my email right away. I reached out to 5 other photographers and I didn't hear back from any of them. Why? I don't understand this. The simplest way you can grow your business is by offering your clients good customer service, by actually responding to them. Any way that they contact me, if they contact me through my website, I still get their phone number, and I will opt all the time if I can to call them back. Now, why do I do that? Well, for a number of reasons. Number 1, giving someone an actual voice call shows them that you actually care. It shows them that you're a professional and that you are interested in them as a client. Second thing it does, which is so important for photographers, is it gives the person a chance to get to know you and to get a feel for your personality. Personality and connecting with people is obviously important in any business, but it's super important if you're a photographer and you're gonna take, say, someone's engagement photos. People wanna know that the person that they're gonna be working with is friendly, has a good personality, is easygoing, is able to connect connect with them. For me as a headshot photographer, this is super important. Most people don't like getting their headshot done. And if they talk to me on the phone and I sound like this and I'm afraid of my own shadow and say, oh yeah, I can take your headshot. When they talk to me on the phone, they see that I'm a friendly guy, I'm a nice guy. They say to themselves, okay, well, it sounds like even though I might not necessarily want to get my headshot done, I need it. At least this guy will make the process fun. He seems like a nice guy, this sort of a thing. The other reason you want to opt for a phone call is because then you can sell them. Now, sales is always a dirty word to some people, and I'm not talking at all about being a shady salesman and trying to do something bad. All I mean by sales is that if you are in business for yourself, if you're a photographer or any business where you're selling your services or products, you are a salesperson, whether you like it or not. So you have to deal with that. If you tell people about what you do, about the benefits of working with you, about how your process works, this can get you clients even if you're more expensive. But sometimes if you have a person who's sort of on the fence, it helps immensely just to explain to them, well, here's how my process works. Here's why I charge the way I charge. Here's how I help you with what you need to solve your problem. So it's so much easier to do this over the phone than it is via text or via email. Number 4, video content. In 2022, we have probably the most destroyed attention spans that's ever happened historically since the beginning of time. And I see it in my own life that I have very little patience when it comes to scrolling websites, when it comes to all of the online stuff we do. And so you have to keep in mind that people looking for you do not have a great attention span. Not only that, they're very busy. They want to find what they need. So just like we talked about before with the website, they want to find what they need and be able to do it quickly and easily and move on. One of the easiest ways to get people to stay and look and figure out what you're doing and peruse what you're doing is by having video content on your site. And there's a number of reasons why this is important. Having videos that explain your services really make it easier for clients to book you, because people would much rather watch a short video than read 3 or 4 paragraphs of text. So I highly recommend that you make some short videos of what you do and start posting it on your website and put it in areas where they can easily click on it. On my website, right on the home page, right below the fold, so it's right after my main gallery, there is a link to a video that is an overview of my headshot sessions, and I'll link it below if you want to see it. I've had many clients say to me, oh, I booked you based on that video because I just loved the way you do things, and I could tell that you were the right photographer for me. Having video content where they can get a feel for your personality and see themselves in your studio and in your workspace and see how you do things is a great way and a simple way to grow your business. Here's another thing you can do when it comes to video content. You could do like what I'm doing right now. I've been working hard at posting videos on my YouTube channel, and I've been doing it for, I don't know, maybe 5 months or so. Not a long time, but it's a lot of work. But remember that, Google is owned by, or YouTube, I should say, is owned by Google. So if you have a YouTube channel where you have all of this stuff posted, it's only gonna help your SEO. For me, having the YouTube channel does a bunch of things. It continues to position me as an expert in my field. So even if I have a client who doesn't care about photography necessarily, but they click and they find me on my site and then they search around, they find my YouTube channel, they can look at all of these videos, and to the person who's looking for a headshot photographer or a portrait photographer, they can say, hey, this guy is definitely an expert in his field. Regarding video, I will say that the first one is always the hardest. So it took me, I don't know, 5 or 6 tries. I made the first video I did, and I kept deleting it because I hated it. I critiqued my face. I said, oh, I'm so fat, I look ugly, my mouth moves funny, the lighting sucks, I'm rambling, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Like, I critiqued the crap out of myself. And so I kept deleting it, and I did this like over the course of a month. And then they finally said, you know what, I just need to post one. I'll do my best. And then once it's out there, I'm going to do another one, and I guarantee the next one will be a little better. And this is my recommendation for you. Perfection is the enemy of progress, as we've all heard. So you want to just post something. Put some time and effort into it, get the lighting okay, but it does not need to be perfect. Even if you just want to post stuff from your iPhone to begin with, just set it up on a tripod, get some nice natural light going through a window or something. You don't need a ton of equipment. You don't even need microphones, but it's imperative that you start doing it. And the more you do, the better it gets. And if you don't believe me, look at my first video. I think it was about headshot, how to dress for a headshot. I think I've come a long way since then, and every video is a learning experience, so I'm sure the next one will be better than this one. So video content, people, you gotta get it going. Start rocking the video content. So finally, number 5, you gotta be the best in your market. It's so easy to say that, and it's so easy to assume you're the best, but it's so much harder to actually become the best. So I want you to look at your own work and be your worst critic. Now, don't do it in a way that atrophies you, of course, but you must be your own worst critic if you want to grow at what you're doing. This applies to everything in life, but obviously much more when it comes to a creative field like photography. Now, to become the best in your market and to just become better at what you do, you just need to study with people. So I'm constantly studying with people in a number of ways. We all know as photographers, one of the easiest things you can do is you can go online and purchase tutorials, or even find tons of free tutorials on YouTube. You can purchase photography books, read books, go to the library and take out art books and read art books. And then you can mentor with people one-on-one. I've mentored with Peter Hurley one-on-one many times. One of my other great influences, Ivan Weiss. I've mentored with Ivan. Even though he's based in London, his portrait work spoke to me very strongly. So I contacted him and I said, hey, Ivan, can we work one-on-one together? And we set up sessions over Zoom where I had a live shoot in my studio, and Ivan was helping me with lighting, helping me with color grading, helping me with editing. And it made such a huge difference in my work and in how I did things, and it pushed me to a level so much quicker than I could have done on my own. I have Felix Kunz's awesome lighting series, and I work through that, and I watch these videos a lot, and I experiment with his signature lighting, which is amazing. And it also gives me more options. So when I'm shooting different kinds of clients and they have different needs and they want different looks, I'm not just a one-size-fits-all guy. And the cool thing is that once you start to develop your own style, now you're doing stuff that you like to do. So I love taking dramatic, sort of color-graded, moody portraits. And so I posted some of these on my website after I had done them. And then guess what? People started contacting me and saying, hey, I really love this portrait on your website. Can you do that for me? And now I'm getting paid to create work that I like creating, that's fun, that I'm confident about, and I know I do it really well. That's an awesome thing. I'll even have corporate clients reach out to me and they'll want something like really more dramatic and portraity that's more artistic looking. They don't necessarily want the standard headshot. So you need to be the best in your market. So that's it for today, everyone. This is part 1 of my 4-part series. We will have 20 tips to grow your photo business in 2022 by the time all of the videos come out. There will be corresponding articles about this that will pop up on FSTOPPERS, so you can find me on there. And when the article's out, I will link it in the video. I want to once again thank my buddy Richard Wayne for collaborating with me on this list. Don't forget to comment, like, share this video. If this has been helpful to you, if you feel like this is going to help you grow your business, let me know. That's great. I'd love to hear that. And I will see you in the next video. So have a great day, everyone. Go out and take some cool pictures. I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.